So basically what we got going on here for the newer viewers, it's going to start I'm going to start streamlining this scrap metal that we go dumpster diving for. We got a bunch of category buckets right here, starting off with Bear Bright, number 1 copper, number 2 copper, yellow brass. This is going to be extension wire, light wire, stuff like that. And then we got machine wire number 2. That's like dirty stuff with all the fixings on it. By that I mean plugs and ends and stuff like that. And then this is going to be clean machine wire. And these are just a couple actually random buckets that I just found the other night. That's going to be tin shred. You got your bag of stainless steel. You got your MLC. That's the aluminum armoring off of BX wire. So yeah, aluminum wire. This is extruded cast aluminum, and then you got sheet aluminum right here. Okay, now I believe I called off in between 16 and 17 different categories that you can sort out and separate all in one standing, not leaving the bench. That is what makes it more efficient, is that this requires 0 walking around, and I got a bucket or a bag that I can throw each category in and keep continuing that process. Yeah. And there's a couple categories actually right behind me. Usually when I have buckets behind me right here, it's for motors, transformers, ballasts, things of that nature. Common e-waste. That's sheet aluminum right here though. Throw that in sheet. Let's empty this box out, yeah. These are typical things that I run into on my outings that I grab. Okay. All right, we're just gonna dive right into it. I'm gonna call what metals they are and where they go, pretty much. This is cast aluminum. There's a bag for that right there. Okay, pull this machine wire from that BX and you got clean machine wire. That bucket's gonna be over here. That shell that we just made, the aluminum shell, it's called MLC. Well, that's gonna go over in this bag over here. Right there. Once the bench gets a little bit more emptier, let's say, we will have more room to work with, and we'll be able to reach those bags over there, like the stainless, the MLC shell, the aluminum wire. But for the most part, while I'm going through this stuff, even standing right here, I can make it into the bags. Okay, yeah. So you got machine wire. This is communication cable in there. Sometimes you get that in BX wire. Shell. Aluminum shell. Happy holidays, everybody. I know it's getting close to Thanksgiving, and well, I need to get my butt moving, so you know, I have been busy lately. Just kind of going with the flow. We got a lot of pop cans here. I don't have an actual spot to throw pop cans. That bag is full right there. Let's use this cardboard box that I threw. Use that for pop cans, right? Boom. Unfortunately, I can't fit all my categories right directly in front of me, but I can fit a great majority of them, which still leaves a couple of things that I toss back there every now and then, like those cans I just did. Yeah. But you'll sort of notice that I don't really leave the workstation all that much. Once I get everything that I need and I'm streamlining, that saves and conserves a lot of time. What's this? We got aluminum wire mixed in with this other communication cable, stuff like that. There's the bag for that right there. Just throw them in there. I don't really strip aluminum wire, but I heard it's been paying well. Can I get this one? Yeah? Oh yeah. Got machine wire. There. This is comm wire. Cat wire, communication cable. Fire alarm wire, stuff like that. That's all communication. See how easy that wire slips out of the BX shell? It's nice. Comm wire. So usually after I somewhat explain what I'm doing, I would usually start off with a time lapse to kind of speed the video up, because this is a little bit longer of a process going through all this scrap metal. I noticed in my audience retention that's not so hot. Not a lot of you watch the time lapses. I'm open to any suggestions if there's something else that you'd like to watch while I'm doing all the scrap metal. I simply can't record for 4 hours straight and then edit it. That's impossible. That's why I do the time lapses in such a way to help me save time through editing. But I'm looking for other alternatives. I mean, you guys, you don't have to see every bit of scrap metal that I do. If that's something that would interest you, is that I make a video that's more of me just kind of talking and doing what I do, instead of watching me hyperspeed and doing all this part to get to, say, the scrapyard or start loading the car, you know. I got a lot of videos that are kind of like that, and I want to know from you guys, what do you want to watch? Is that entertaining or not? Because I see through my analytics that it's not really that hot, you know. When my time lapse starts, a lot of you guys either just skip forward or go to the next thing. They don't really watch them as much. So I'm kind of wanting to hear your guys' insights in the comments for me. Okay, I'd like to know. But is there something else that we can do that's more entertaining, that won't take 4 hours? Because I can't do that. I don't even think YouTube would, or my laptop or my internet would even let me attempt an upload like that. I think I did a 2.5 hour video once, and that took a while. Cat wire. Okay, this is a security camera right here, and it's mainly aluminum, the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is just smash the glass lens out and throw it in cast aluminum. Sometimes I use this. So you got your cast, and then this piece is basically cast. Just try to snip the wire off the back, and you busted that piece out right there. It's cast. I call it cast aluminum right there. I try not to clean it much farther than that, because then it's just too time consuming. Yeah, they could fit up to 5 or 6 wires in one of those little things, man. You guys know that? Well, some of you that watched my previous videos knows that. So we got like 5 or 6 tubes of grease for like a grease gun in here. Look at this. I found these one night. Premium heavy duty grease. Pretty cool. So maybe I can load up a grease gun and have plenty of grease. Set those over there so we can keep doing the scrap metal. Green board. That bucket's getting full. I gotta go dump it back there. Maybe even start a new basket. So you guys see how I'm throwing that BX or that MLC shell over there, and it's not landing in the bag no more. Well, that's a problem, right? Yeah. So hopefully by that point you're done with that box quick enough where you can get this one over and you can probably reach it. It's usually what I do. This is aluminum wire. Stuff that in there. But being able to reach all your categories standing in one position will help you scrap faster. Just because of the fact that you're not running around as much. This thing, I wonder if there's anything in it. Yep, there's a board. Green board. Garbage bag. That's our garbage bag right there. So here's our next box. Got a lot of cat wires, pop cans, green boards, you name it. There's some extruded aluminum right there. These are the mixed categories that I usually pick up. Okay. Let's get rid of the cans. But I think one of the most effective things that I could do to change my audience retention is slow down, don't do the time lapses as much, and try to be more educational. That's kind of one of the reasons why I'm talking my way through scrapping on this table. Because this is the way that I found that I could sort scrap metal efficiently and do it mobily while traveling. Basically what I'm saying is I can erect this workbench anywhere I go and scrap anywhere I need to. You know, it's going to be some interesting content this year, or coming up next year. You know what I mean. Is that even? No, this is just like, yeah, tincture it on there. Green board, even though it's blue. I'm going to try to reach over here and fix this bag. For the most part, the bags that I use are pretty stiff, so they usually stay open, but we just want to make sure they're open enough where we can toss things in them. Here's some more boards. Okay, these are all going to take special little bits that I'm not going to look for right away. We're going to pile them up right down here. We want to work on wires and transformers and copper and brass, and throw pop cans and sort out our core. We're sorting out our core elements here that we have. The quicker you do that, the faster you can assess what you have and how long it could take. What's this stuff? Oh, it's duster, air duster. I don't need it. But we're sorting out our values is what we're doing. That board's good. Another security camera. Those are mainly cast aluminum. That's sheet. Another one of those boards. Those are all thermostat plates. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it's kind of what that is. I had my snips with me just now too, and they're gone. I buried them. Okay. Usually when I dump a box, I like to start on this side and work that way. So I work my way to the next box that I set on the table. Yeah, going out and scrapping is easy, right? Well, I mean, most of the time. But I mean, like, okay, that's why. But there's a whole other side to it. You got to, like, scrap it. It's got to get clean, you know? And I guess whatever method that you use is going to determine the speed of your processing and what you can turn in weekly. I mean, recently things have been starting to slow down here a little bit, so I haven't been going to the scrapyard as much. But that's okay though. See, what I do is I line myself up with work such as that granulator back there, for when times get slow, I still have steady work I can do. That's another good reason to have a setup like that. And it makes pretty good content from what I've seen. Yep. Ooh, I gotta straighten this out, or else you can't pull that cable quite free. This has got a bad kink in it right here too. When these are kinked, they don't pull so easy. If you tried it before, you know what I mean. See, it's still not letting me have it. Don't know why. Oh, see, it's flattened right here. It's a big flat spot from here to there. I gotta cut that. If you want to get the majority of that wire out. Anyways. See, now it's kind of pulling freely. Not this one though. There's another flat spot in it. I can't see where it is either. It's not letting me have it though. Right here. That's all flat. Okay. In this instant, when you have this problem on a piece over and over and over again, how many times is it worth cutting it down to get the next piece over that's not flattened? Okay, so what I have, like once a year, I have a little bag of BX wires that are like that I don't process, because usually I'll give up on it just to save the time and moving on to the next thing. So me taking 3 tries to get that to get 1.5 foot of wire out of there is probably not worth it. That's why I'd make a separate bag and sell that stuff as is. And that, we already did that. We did that like, I don't know how many episodes ago, but yeah. See right there, looks like a big pain. I'm not gonna mess with this wire. I'm gonna set it to the side and forget it until that bag gets bigger. And then turn it in for like $1 a pound or whatever the case. So when I throw them over there, that's what that means. Not worth messing with. See, when these wires are all janked up like this, sometimes they don't pull out so nicely. We can try it. This one is probably, yeah, that one did. But mainly if they're pinched, well, that's where you're gonna have a struggle. Oops. Okay, we got cat wire and bits of machine wire in between. Yeah. So when I'm not talking, I'm actually able to move faster. That's not just because I speed up the video, but I actually move faster because I'm completely concentrating on what I'm doing in front of me. Not that I don't like talking and explaining things. It's just that it could be a problem if I'm doing it too long. And then I can't edit a video that long anyway. So I'm just curious for suggestions. Instead of a time lapse, what would you rather see? You want to see like a cut scene, like I'll talk maybe 5 minutes and do some scrap, and then we'll just cut scene straight to the loading the car or whatever, you know, and then go into the scrap yard. Because if we do it that way, I can speed up the videos in a way where we can do the scrapping and the scrapyard trip all in one. There's number 9 extruded aluminum. Well, these are, I guess those were little batteries, probably dead. That's a little transformer right here and there. I can bust them open real fast to turn them into clean transformers. We can do that. Not the funnest to do, but there is little transformers inside those. And you can sell that for 25 cents a pound. Sometimes they don't open as nice, sometimes they pop right open. Like this one's gonna be a pain. There it goes. And you got yourself a little transformer. So what was that, probably 50 cents that I just made by cracking those two open. Is it worth it? You know, that's what I ask myself constantly. I'm always trying to value the best that I can for the time that I'm working. Maybe crack this open, I don't know. What's in there? Got some wires and another little transformer. Maybe I can crack that off of there. Maybe not. See, at this point is usually where I'd give up on it. And maybe try to break these off the sides and throw it in transformers. They don't have to be perfect, just get the plastic off of them. Black Friday deals are coming up. I'm going to try to get the generator I want on a sale price. Okay, this is just going to be basically comm wire. Throw it in there. Got some machine wires up in the mix. Try to get those out. You can easily mistake machine wires and cat wires together. Sometimes they're smaller and they look a lot closer to machine wire than what they are. I always try to keep that separated as best as possible. This is all cat wire. Sure is. Yep. Yep. A piece of steel in here. Tin shred. Just making sure I'm not leaving any ends in any of this stuff. I have had a complaint from my scrapyard this year about me not cutting the ends, and honestly, it's just they can be easy to miss. I forgot to. I had a bag of it, and then apparently I didn't clip any of the ends. So we're always double checking now just to make sure that don't happen again. Oops. I'm jacking up the camera angle. That's exactly what Merchant's doing. Sorry guys. Stay.
Guitar, now I'm changing all the strings, growing on my hair, and I'm selling everything. It won't be long till I'm back out on the road. It won't be long. Oh yeah, you'll feel me tonight, girl, because tomorrow I'll be gone. I got an aching in my soul and a burning in my heart. I got a road I got to travel down, and it's high time that I start. It won't be long till you won't see me anymore. It won't be long. That's why I told you that I met you, that I couldn't stick around for very long. Everybody knows. Before you die, and make the most of everything before you go. Everybody knows. Everybody listen up now. It won't be long. You diagnose diseases but don't offer any cures, and you who laugh are on her and are shocked to find traitors. It won't be long till it all comes back to you. It won't be long. Laugh it up now while you can, boys. Judgment Day is gonna come, and see you beaten and betrayed, your lonely, broken-hearted masses. He that loves this life will lose it, and the first will be the last. It won't be long till these promises come true. It won't be long. Stop living like a slave. You've been set free. Now pick up your mat and walk. Everybody knows. You gotta live before you die and make the most of everything before you go. Everybody knows. Everybody listen up now. It won't be long.
looking for the answer. The book of life keeps on flipping pages faster. You might just think the real can't defeat the dreamer. One day you'll see the beauty of what we were after. Back then when we were so young, this world made us feel like we could. We are so young. This world makes it feel like we can touch something. And we
Right here.
are so young.
Clean.
This world.
That's smoke balls. Don't know why. Romex. Where to toss Romex? Well, right here, I guess. It's the only thing I have open. This is aluminum. I just take the batteries out, I imagine. Okay, good. That's aluminum, number 9. Ooh, it's a nice thick piece of copper right there. All right, we're gonna keep scrapping away on this bench here. I just dumped another box on there. We're gonna dive right into it, really.
so long in construction that I forgot I had a dream. Didn't know where I was going, didn't like where I had been. So one day I gave it all up when my eyes were open wide. I packed my life into my truck with Mason Boy by my side. I kept driving, but I had to make ends meet. I started thriving by scrapping industry, dumpster diving, and street scrapping throughout America. From Michigan to Ohio, down to Florida. Merchant metals, recycle, don't destroy. Merchant metals and my dog Mason Boy. Merchant metals, thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up and say hi. Bought myself a trailer, so when I'm on the road, I have a rolling workshop and can scrap a heavy load. When it feels like life is hard, I know just what to do. I hit the road and recycle scrap and make my dreams come true. I kept driving, but I had to make ends meet. I started thriving by scrapping in the street, dumpster diving, street scrapping throughout America. From Michigan to Ohio, down to Florida. Merchant metals, recycle, don't destroy. Merchant metals, my dog Mason Boy. Merchant metals, thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up and say hi. Merchant metals, recycle, don't destroy. Merchant metals and my dog Mason Boy. Merchant metals, thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up and say hi.